Hi guys, and welcome to episode 16 of the M&T podcast. This week, apparently, we're very mature.
I think we got really good subjects.
Oh, it's good content.
Great questions that came through from people, and I think that took us down brilliant conversation. I just think it's a very good podcast.
Very much enjoyed it. We talked maternity leave. We talked about Apple in general quite a bit, working for a conglomerate. I now love that word. What else did we chat about?
Talked about getting in your zone if you work from home.
Very true. And
I'm a poet and I didn't know.
Oh, well. And we updated on my hypnotherapy journey. So, very much hope that you enjoyed this week's episode. Please make sure that you share if you can. Love being in your ears, and we will see you in the episode. Let's
have fun, everybody. It's a little bit of a long one. Enjoy.
It's that time again.
It is Saturday, which means it's
Wine.
podcast day.
Oh.
Yes. We can drink.
It's your turn to open the podcast wine.
It is.
Not the podcast. You're opening the wine.
Okay.
What's it
that
called?
means you have to do some talking.
Well, you need to tell me what it is and stuff. How can I discuss?
This is called the El Cotto Rosado 2019.
What's a cotto?
El Cotto. Well, the picture on the label is of a stag, sort of out in the countryside in front of a large house.
So do you think it's the stag?
I don't know whether is cotto for like cottage.
I don't know. I'm googling it. It doesn't translate.
Maybe it's just the name, El Cotto.
Well.
Anyway, it's a 2019 Rioja, rosé, yes. Obviously.
Yes.
And do you know why I picked this one in the shop?
No, I don't know why.
It's because it had a description that was in English.
Oh, go on then.
Produced from Tempranillo.
Oh, are you sure it's in English?
Well, this word's not.
Tempranillo.
Tempranillo. Well done, love. Are you
I am.
What's the word?
Wine person.
Connoisseur.
What's
it? Sommelier.
Sommelier.
Anyway, produced from that
Tempranillo.
one, grapes. Its salmon pink colour is the result of a short skin maceration, fermented at low temperatures to maximise the strawberry and red currant aromas on the palate. The wine is powerful with fresh aromas and ripe fruit. I get the feeling someone used Google Translate to put that in.
It doesn't sound as like whimsical and dreamy as like most bottles of wine do.
Serve at 7 to 8 degrees, not PM.
Can you just serve it for me though?
Yeah, absolutely.
I am gasping. I've literally just finished a day of work. We are sitting down and
we haven't spoken today. So this could be
we
a good,
actually kind of haven't, have we?
Catch up with how your day's been, kind of.
Yeah,
podcast.
all I get from you today, which is like, do you need anything, love? Can I get you anything, love?
Do you think I'm doing that job okay?
You're doing really well. I feel bad that I send you for water.
Well, do you know what? You're working through the weekend. I am more than happy to be the person that goes, do you need anything?
Yeah.
Can I get you anything?
And there is a legit reason for working through this weekend, and it's because good old George and Lauren arrive on Wednesday. Oh my God, that was so lame. YouTubers would have seen that, but we were waiting for the cork to pop.
Fell out with zero pop.
Well, it better be a good glug then, because you just failed on the pop.
I'm going to... There. Good glug.
I have just had a question through, live and direct, just now.
Nice. So, episode 16, love.
Is it now?
4
We're getting
months.
close to 20.
Oh, God. Well, we've already discussed that next week's is Magnums, isn't it? Because we've got guests, as you've just alluded to.
Yeah, so the only reason it is a Magnum or multiple bottles of wine is that because we have guests.
Yeah, guests on the podcast
so
this week.
We need
I
more
like
wine.
Guests on the podcast. Not because I'm bored of just talking to you, but because guests are good. Cheers. You go first. Tell me, are you getting those strawberry and red currant aromas?
I did just eat a bowl of strawberries not that long ago. Well, that was like 2 hours ago.
Yeah.
That's gone quick. It's wine and I'm enjoying it.
Wonderful.
Because again, I've had a relatively healthy week where I haven't been drinking, and therefore I do
your last drink last week's podcast? Did you? I'm
my
trying
last
to think
real
through
drink.
the week.
I had a beer last night.
Yeah, but that's because it came with the ticket.
That is true to our quiz that we went to. So
you could have, of course, just given me yours, but you know.
I wanted one.
Well, good for you. You had one.
So yeah, it is nice to feel a bit fresher, and I am doing it mainly because I've got a lot of work on, so I don't want to like jeopardise my productivity. And that sounds so lame, but I'm okay with it.
Yeah. Do you know what?
I've got trackies on. I haven't even got dressed for the podcast. I normally do, and I've just gone, fuck it. Not
well,
today.
Do you know what? It's been a work day for you, and it wouldn't usually. But I think it's a good example of work hard, play hard. You are getting ahead on your work this
I'm getting
weekend,
ahead so that
when the guests are here, I keep saying the guests, so that when George and Lauren are here, you can relatively switch off. I'm sure you won't switch off
George is
entirely,
like a child, so he needs kind of attention all the time. But I think Lauren's going to really help with that.
He is your John McGovern, isn't he?
Yeah, he is my John McGovern, but he's not a vegan, so actually he's way better than John McGovern.
But put it this way, George is going to be a guest on the podcast before John McGovern is, and
he's not going to be happy.
He's not going to be happy. We'll have to try and figure out how we can get him remotely tapped into the podcast.
Oh God, that's going to be some stuff I can't be bothered to deal with, the logistics and technological aspects of. No, thank you. Okay, so how do you think my week has been?
Well, I mean, we've already sort of alluded to the fact that you've had a healthy week.
Yeah.
I think you're doing really well with that. You've had a very work hard week. You have been very, very productive. I think in last week's podcast, we were saying you've got clients sort of trickling through and your workload is rising. Despite that, I think your balance and how you're getting on with that workload, you're just getting better and better.
I'm coping with it. That's what I'm doing. I'm not coping, but I'm managing it.
You are managing your time and your workload really, really well.
I think it's down to now my 2 hypnotherapy sessions.
Hold on that one. I think we're going to have a therapy section. I'm also just going to close this door very quickly.
Why? Have you got loads of questions for me about therapy? I reckon a few people may have asked. Lots of people ask me, and that's like it's really interesting. I'm just not going to harp on about it for 15 minutes this time because I did last time.
But people found it interesting, and people can and will let us know through comments and reviews of whether or not we're doing too much. Something we said that we would do this week is we would read some of our reviews out.
Yeah, let's do that.
While I sort of find some, do you want to remind people about why giving this podcast a review is important?
Yes, so we are running a competition. Is it up till like the 2nd of November?
Yes.
Okay,
so you've got about 5 more podcasts.
You've got some time until the 2nd of November, depending on what day you're listening to this. And on the 2nd of November, we are giving away a bottle of Whispering Angel. Woo!
That was an idea.
Is going wild.
That is an idea that you had whilst half cut,
live and direct,
live on a podcast where you're like, let's just give away a bottle of Whispering Angel.
I think it's a great idea. So all you have to do is go on to Apple Podcasts. If you are listening on Spotify today, just switch over just to do the review, and go and leave a 5-star review because we don't accept anything less. And write a comment. You have to write words. You can't just do the 5 stars. I want to see the words. And we are going to put all of those names in a hat or a wine bottle or something and pick one out on the pod.
Doesn't matter where you are in the world, we will get a bottle of Whispering Angel. Unless you're in Saudi.
Or
in which case we'll still
don't have wine.
Our best. Or if you, for some reason, live in the back end of the Congo rainforest.
If you live in Saudi, I'll get you some illegal alcohol. There you go. I know how to do that.
That's a brave thing to say.
Who is going to listen?
I haven't checked the analytics recently. I'm not sure anybody in Saudi listens to this.
Also, what are they going to do?
Oh, someone's a bit ballsy. Someone's had
half a glass of wine.
Well. Bring it on, Saudi. Anyway, Let's read out some of our latest reviews. So this
I'll
is
read
from do you know what my favourite thing is about Apple podcast reviews? People forget what their name is.
Yes, that has happened
You very
already.
rarely get to just sort of leave your name. So I don't really know who these people are, but Patsy Man, whoever Patsy Man is, left us a review that said, great podcast and YouTube channel, definitely worth watching and listening if you are Ibiza lovers and you have aspirations or plans to move to the White Isle. The shows are full of happiness and humour, banter and everyday living in Ibiza. M&T seem like top people and are hilarious.
We are top.
Must listen and watch. Cheers, guys.
Thanks, Patsy Man.
Thanks so much. I love that people think that we're funny.
I don't really understand why.
I find you more annoying than anything.
Whatever, we haven't talked all day. Next one was from Benemolition. Yep. And it says, uplifting, funny and inspiring. Love listening to Matt and Tiff. I've had a love affair with the White Isle for many years and always dreamt of living there. Following the M&T podcast and daily content, yes, we have a YouTube, has helped me turn that pipe dream into a full-on plan. A positive, informative podcast, easy to listen and easy for you to say, easy to listen to. I can honestly say this pair are an inspiration and living proof that you can do anything you set your mind to. Keep up the content, guys. Bye.
Love that. I'm going to do one last one. This one's from Katie Crooks, a long-term follower and fan and interactor with the podcast. Crookers wrote, funny, informing, engaging, real, and enough to make you want to pop a bottle yourself on every listen. Thanks for making everyone smile in 2020. This podcast is a must for anyone who loves Ibiza and wants an insider guide to life out there 24/7. Now then, did someone say Urbas?
No.
Not today.
Not today.
Not today.
Not
But
today,
lovely
Satan.
reviews coming through,
Yeah,
and
love
we will
them.
read your reviews out. So please make sure, as we've said, take the time, head on to Apple Podcasts, 5-star review, write a quick review in there, and you could be in a chance for winning some wine.
And who doesn't like wine? Who doesn't
It's
want a
Whispering
bottle of
Angel we're
wine?
giving
And
away
it's
for crying
Whispering
out
Angel.
loud.
Didn't say it. We're going to tell them it's a half bottle that they sell.
One of the minis.
Yeah.
Like
No, I'm
that
joking.
you get on a
Full
plane.
size, regular size, not Magnum.
75 centilitres.
75 yeah, terms and conditions.
Terms and conditions. It is, we're not sending Magnums, calm down.
We only have the Magnums ourselves. Cool.
How's my week been?
Your week has been...
Oh, you're so in tune with how your husband feels.
You
and
did
how-
some... Oh, actually, no, you had a good gardening day where you got a back tan.
Strong back tan.
Strong
'cause
back tan and
I was
no
in the
front
garden all
tan.
day.
And you now take the speaker outside and listen to football podcasts, and I'm just in the office rolling my eyes.
As a wife does.
But you have a lovely, I think you have a lovely time out there. I do think that you need to prioritise the bike rides over the gardening because you obviously get knackered.
Yeah.
How many did you go on a bike ride this
I think I did one bike ride this week.
Yeah, I think so. So I'd like
Do you know what?
to do more.
I think you're right. I sort of, at the moment, my routine is I sort of get up when I get up. Do you know, it's a little thing, but I haven't been woken up by a time or an alarm.
And it's lovely, huh?
Literally since we got here, I think other than taking Demi to the airport. I think that's the only thing I've had to be up at a certain time for.
Same. Maybe I've had a couple of phone calls.
So, but then I sort of potter into my daily routine of doing jobs, which sometimes are quite physical. Sorry, I'm trying to hold back a bit.
Yeah, well, can you just get it out because you're talking like a politician?
Who am I?
No, just like a pause between every other word.
Anyway, it's lovely to have you back.
I know.
I then get into my sort of jobs, and if it's a garden-based job, I'm usually knackered by the time I finish because it's sweeping, it's carrying heavy shit down to the bins, and sort of lots of getting up, getting down and stuff. And then by that point, I'm like, I really can't be asked to get on the bike. So I think going forward, I want my routine to be a little bit more get up in the morning, maybe just go straight out on a bike ride and then come back and sort of get on with stuff. But
I agree that
I haven't
should
done
happen.
that since we've been here.
Yeah.
But that used to be very much my routine in Dubai because it was temperature sort of I had to get up and get it done because otherwise it was too hot.
I also think that when you get up, because we now don't have our phones in the bedroom and they're in the office, you just come get your phone, you either sit in the office or sit on the here, and then you scroll. Like, for longer than I think is necessary. And that's me saying that. But I think it's also because I've been actively trying not to scroll and just get on with my work in the mornings. So I just see you there scrolling and I'm just like, do something. I'm just like, why have you not made the vlog yet?
Well, excuse me, but I get the vlog out every single day, and
at some point
we are up to episode, as we speak today, we're in the process of making episode 74.
That's a lot, isn't it?
74 episodes, and that is daily videoing, daily editing, and up they go. You're
amazing.
Well, I try to be.
Well, you do very, very well. Thanks you so much. Because I don't do any editing or posting. That is all you now. So that's really good.
I'm going to be honest. I'm really looking forward to the moment where we do stop the daily videos.
Where are we stopping?
We're stopping, I think, when the delivery arrives.
That's a good day.
Because I did speak to some people, and a few weeks ago we were umming and ahhing, do we just get to sort of 50 episodes and then stop doing the dailies? I love doing the dailies, and I like the amount of interaction that we've been getting, and there's more people watching every day, more people, and that's great, and I love that, and I do love that we've got regular people that we now pretty much talk to on a daily basis via the comments, and I love that. But it is quite hard work, and I am looking forward to the days where we don't have to go, oh God, where's the camera, let's make sure we capture this moment.
Yeah, sometimes I just want to go to dinner.
Yeah. But that's not happening until the delivery gets
that's why you've been pushing at me to get onto the delivery people, because
well,
you're done.
Also, we've lived here for 11 weeks tomorrow, and our stuff's still not here.
I know.
And it's time.
It is time to
They do say it's in Spain.
Well, it could be it could be anywhere in Spain. Anyway. That's our weeks then. That was okay.
Weeks, yeah.
And this weekend is pretty chill. And then next week we're a tourist for a bit. So that actually means the daily vlogs get some good action.
Well, yeah, again, this is another thing that I'm just conscious of is our daily vlogs are turning a little bit into, I've done some work. I've swept up the garden. Tiff's in the office. What's for lunch? And then we have a barbecue. Bye! And that's it.
There's nothing
and as much as
that.
Apparently people are enjoying those, I want to get excited about what we make and what we create. Well,
next week is going to be exciting.
It is. I was going through the agenda that you've created for George and Lauren, and we've got day after day of good stuff going on.
Yeah, I'm excited. I'm excited for it all. Nice.
And George always gets involved with the content.
George loves it.
Might just give him the camera.
We've never met Lauren, but she's in at the deep end.
We haven't met her, but I do feel as if I know her.
True. Very true. So in at the deep end, rock and roll, let's do it. I need to hire a car.
Yes.
Yeah.
I love that. I love that we've bought a car within the last couple of weeks, but for when guests are here, we have to hire one because we bought a 2-seater convertible.
We have a few places to go, and I reckon it's just worth it because it's going to be about €15 each for 4 days.
Yeah, they're cheap now, aren't they?
It's proper cheap now. So let's just do that because then at least most of the days, if we're travelling around, someone can drive. I'm only going to do it for like 3 or 4 days. Be lovely. That's why I was doing the schedule, so I knew how many days I needed a car.
Yeah, so when guests are here, we'll rent a car.
See?
Because...
Well, it depends on who the guests are. We don't always need to rent a car.
Well, no, but
and next summer we wouldn't need to rent a car.
If we plan to go out and do things with those people, then cool. Luckily, they're cheap.
Yes, luckily it's out of season. Next summer I won't be paying to rent a car.
People can get their own car.
It's like it goes up from, what is it now, €22 a day for a little Fiat Panda. And it goes up to like 80, 90 a day in summer. That's disgusting. That's Ibiza.
That's
their tagline.
There's your consumer information, ladies and gentlemen.
You're welcome. You come here for important info.
Yeah.
Can I have some more wine, please?
Of course you can. And as I'm topping you up, why don't you give us an update on how therapy was this week? Therapy with Tiff. Dun dun dun.
Oh, could I have a theme tune? Therapy sounds like I'm going to therapy.
You are, love.
Hypnotherapy this week was good. I found it very different to week one. because in week 1 I was very, very conscious. I heard everything that the hypnotherapist had to say, and we talked about it a lot afterwards. This week I lost half of the session.
So would you say
went
then
deeper.
this week, were you hypnotised this week?
I think so.
That's weird, because I'm not a believer in this stuff.
No, and I'm not.
And I never thought that you would be a person that goes,
Susceptible.
actually, yeah, I was.
Yeah.
But you haven't said that. That's the first time we've used the word hypnotised.
Hypnotised.
You sort of described it as, I definitely zoned out, and I'm not really fully aware of everything we discussed during the session.
But it is
But
hypnotised, at the end of the day.
That's weird.
So, this time, when I lay down and they put an eye mask on, she puts an eye mask on you, so you're really relaxed. As soon as she hit the gong, my body just went, I'm relaxed. Like, whereas last week...
Does she slip you anything as you enter her house?
She always
or
does
anything?
offer me a glass of water, and I have said yes each time. Anyway.
Sprinkled a little something in there.
I wish. No, she, as soon as the gong went this time, my body just went, I'm relaxed. And then took you down the steps and all of that straight. And this time I went into a forest, and that was lovely.
Not physically, I'd like to point that out. But this
She
is a
took
journey
me.
that
She
you
took
go
me
on, right?
into a forest. Yes. And this week's thing, I didn't ask for anything extra. I just went, let's keep going on the same like momentum of the things I said first time round. So the arachnophobia, balance in life, recognizing your own thoughts, more clarity.
Yeah.
So she took me into this wonderful forest, and it was a beautiful forest, had all my favourite flowers in it.
What are your favourite flowers?
Well,
I didn't know you had favourite flowers.
No, but that's what she said. So I was like visualising like lilies and peonies and everything. Like,
what are peonies?
those aren't they those big round ones?
Are they? Oh, like the big like orange.
Yeah,
like...
well, I don't know if they're orange, but anyway, peonies.
Sorry.
I think
I didn't know you had favourite flowers. I need to make a mental note of these things.
How do you not know that after 6 years?
Because you're not really a flowery person, are you? You've
never bought me flowers. No, I'm joking.
I've bought you flowers many times,
Yeah,
but
I know.
I always think
always
she'd rather
ask.
have some food.
I would always rather have food. So we went into this forest, and we came across this brick wall which had different sized bricks in it, and they were all something different, as in fears, insecurity, sadness, anger, and the biggest one was my arachnophobia, was spiders. So one by one you push these things out the wall, bricks out the wall, but as soon as you touch them you realise they're only polystyrene, so they go away easily. So this big middle section of the wall you're pushing out, and then the spider one is the last one, and I push that one out, and then the whole wall comes crumbling down, and it crumbles so much that it's just dust. And then past that there's a golden temple, so you didn't know that was there, so you went through your brick wall, and then there's a golden temple. And they took me into a mind and body room where I can't remember that, but she told me that afterwards. I went into a mind and body room. Then I went into a future self room and sat and watched a movie about myself, about me in the future and what I want to be. But really interestingly, and she found this really interesting, was that as I was walking into the temple, I was wearing my flip-flops. There was a spider walking with me, but walking over my feet, like quite a big one, probably like the size of my foot, like the front bit of my foot. And it was just walking over my feet and walking with me, like, do you know, like a kitten does when it walks in front of you, that type of thing. And I was just looking at it like, okay, you're coming with.
That is interesting, because even the thought of that would usually freak you the fuck out.
Yeah, and now like I'm like talking about this now would normally freak me out, but I'm like, there's absolutely nothing.
It's really strange, isn't it? Well, it's actually interesting.
She found that really interesting.
I got a question through this week that was to be aimed at you. This one came from Reese Keith, a person who you know from Abu Dhabi, right? Will Tiff ever test herself to see if the hypnotherapy, again, easy for me to say. Will she ever test herself to see if the hypnotherapy is working, and how will she test it? And then left the spider emoji. So clearly wants to know, do you plan to test the effectiveness?
And I've always said that. I've at the beginning, before, when I was still dubious and like not really sure, I was always worried about testing it. And I think I've come across a few things in the past week where it's just like and it kind of has been a test. I've been dealing with some Halloween imagery for work. And if you search on any of the stock image websites for Halloween, you get spider photos. So, and I came across a few, and I was just kind of looked at it and then just scrolled on and didn't like panic scroll like I used to do.
Yep.
Also, I've been looking at that tile. Rory Dobner has a tile with a big spider on it, and I was looking at it on the website or on Instagram or something and had no issues with it. Haven't seen any spiders this week physically,
and I think,
but talked about it a lot, obviously.
I think already, I mean, as somebody who has seen and experienced your reaction to a spider, even the fact that we're just having a conversation about a spider right now, and we're not quickly dancing over it and moving on.
No, it's quite,
we can talk about it. Like, this would usually have been something where you wouldn't have freaked out by talking about it, but you would have kind of gone, okay, let's just move on.
I get a bit hot and I move my hair off my neck and normally, and I'm like, oh, my palms are already sweating, but feel my palms
dry
actually
as a bone.
No, but that's an actual thing.
I used to
it really
sweat,
and I used to move my hair off my neck and really get quite kind of
I
jumpy.
think kind of in answer to Reese's question,
I want to test it naturally. I don't want someone to come up to me with a tarantula in their hand.
We always said you have no aspiration and there is no need for you to go right in at the deep end and go, cool, let's get a pet tarantula. That wasn't the thought of this. You just wanted to be able to deal with it. I said that
to her. I was like, don't make me want some.
But step one was, can we talk about a spider?
Yeah. And that's kind of the level I'm at. It's not just a little fear.
Step two, can I look at a picture of a spider? And, you're dealing with those really well. So, I mean, baby steps. At some point in this house, because we live in an old house up in the hills in the sticks a little bit, you are going to come across a spider. You're not deliberately going to go out of your way to see them and test it. But it'll be interesting to sort of see how you react and how you rationalise.
So watching, how I rationalise.
You're not suddenly going to pick it up and be like, oh, you're so cute. But you won't run away and cry.
Yeah, and it's the rational. I deal with it more rationally. The fear might not completely go away. The phobia might not completely go away, though I feel like it would. I'm quite optimistic about that. But I might deal with it more rationally rather than my body just taking over and going sweat, cry, panic, done.
Yeah.
That's what my body does naturally.
I think it's really, really interesting that, let's be honest, hypnotherapy, bit hippy-dippy kind of shit, both very cynical and dubious. Those are the words we keep on using to describe how we'd feel about this. There is no doubt that at the very least, going through this experience or having those types of conversations has definitely affected you in some way.
Yeah, because it's not just the arachnophobia, it's the other points.
It's the being logistical and sort of being rational in your thoughts.
Clarity on my thoughts and things like that as well.
Yeah, things were getting stressful as we moved here and work was ramping up and stuff.
Oh, of course.
And honestly, in the last 2 weeks, you've just got better and better at dealing with work getting more and sort of life not being the easiest, because it's not. People might think that we're on holiday, but actually life is pretty difficult when you're setting up your own work and business and home and life in a country where you don't speak the language. But I think it's really interesting for me to see the journey that you're going on.
Does it make you want to do it?
Do you know what? Not yet.
Okay.
I don't.
Because we've had this chat.
I'm still at the level of
because I'm like, if it works for me, it's gonna work for you.
Yeah, because no one's more cynical than you.
Yeah, exactly. I asked because I did a bit of a loaded question. Do you need to do the camera?
Yes.
A bit of a loaded question during the week. And I was like, what? I'm obviously investing in myself, doing these things and stuff. Is there anything you want to invest in this month? And you went, I want. What did you say?
So you said, I love this because we were out in the car, and I love that you're now admitting that it was loaded. And I also love how I've reacted to it. So because you failed entirely.
Loaded.
So you have said, I'm investing a little bit in myself. You've bought some sort of products for yourself, skincare products. You're going to hypnotherapy, and you're like, I'm investing in myself, and I've got a bit of a budget for that. And you're the financial officer of this relationship, so you were like, if you want a budget to invest in yourself and think about things that you might want, you can have that. So I was like, cool, what's the budget? Tell me how much I've got. And basically, within a day, this is classic me. My parents are nodding right now, going, yeah, classic Matt. Within a day of knowing what my budget was, I've ordered a new Wolves top. Twice by accident. Mum and Dad, that's on its way to you, by the way, so that you can bring it out when you come and visit. And I bought something for the computer. I bought like a plug-in for the light effects for videos, which technically is an investment.
That's not part of the budget, though. But really. I thought, new camera lens so you can get more fancy, or some therapy, or bike things.
I bought a Wolves top.
And you bought a Wolves top.
Do you know what? It makes me happy.
Did you not realise it was kind of loaded? I thought I worded that so well. I planned that for like a day.
When I think about it, I do know that your intention was, think about something that's going to help you and improve you. In my head, I went, lovely idea, but I do really want that new Wolves top. So yeah, I bought it.
That's fine. That's absolutely fine. But it's going to happen every month. And one month you're going to go, I want to do this. And I'm going to be like, yes.
So you don't yet agree with what I'm investing my budget
I'm fine with that, because that's what you want. And you've not had a new Wolves top in forever. So that's what you're going to get. That's fine. That is absolutely fine.
Lovely.
Funny though.
It is funny, and that's classic me.
That's really funny.
Like I said, my parents are nodding because I think for my entire life, if I've had a budget or if I've had money available to me, I immediately go for the new shiny thing and go, well, I want that, so I just buy it.
Yeah. Talking about football, I've had a question.
Wonderful. I love a football-related question.
From Dan Buckfield.
Dan Buckfield, don't know him personally, but he's very active in interacting with me on Instagram and stuff. So
cool.
Thanks,
Dan. So I've got two from him.
Lovely, go for it.
First one, has Matt adopted a Spanish football team whilst living in Ibiza?
Ibiza UD.
Yeah.
The Ibiza football team, I'm desperate to go to a game. Do you remember in Dubai, when we knew that we were going to be moving here, in this Spanish Cup, the equivalent of like the FA Cup in the UK, Ibiza, which is a small team, but it is a professional team, they sort of got through some of the earlier rounds and they got drawn against Barcelona. Do you remember?
Yeah.
And I was desperate to sort of find a live stream, and I wanted to watch Ibiza versus Barcelona. And apparently the island went crazy. Like there were queues around the street to buy tickets. It's the biggest attendance they ever had, because Barcelona
sold out of tickets.
Came to Ibiza. And there was an actual game, like a competitive game between Ibiza and Barcelona. So I don't know much about. I don't know any of their players.
You have to ask Eduardo.
Yeah, we'll have to just sort of head over. They're very good on the socials. So I think if you look up Ibiza UD, I don't even know what the UD stands for. That's how bad a fan I am.
Yeah, you're going to have to get that.
Locally I'm a fan of them.
And would you like his second question, which is totally unrelated?
Yes, please do.
What is a quickfire? What is your favourite Spice Girls single?
Oh my God, I'm desperately trying to think of one. What was the one where they go like, snummer to the left, jigger to the right, jigger to the front.
I don't know.
That one, whatever song, whatever that is.
Very well sung.
Thank you.
I don't even know it, but I'm going to have to sing it in my head.
Oh,
and figure it out.
bullshit, you don't know it.
No, I don't know what it's called.
You know the song, though, and I bet you know the dance.
Yeah, probably.
Good questions, thanks, Dan.
I remembered something from last week that you were going to tell us.
Okay, go for it.
Why is there a 17 on the calendar?
Oh, yes!
I remembered!
Yes, so why? That's because the emoji last week was the calendar emoji.
And we didn't get a lot.
No, people have stopped sending us the emojis.
Better. I'm looking into the microphone.
I know. I can see you, listeners.
Send us, if it's in a comment on YouTube, if it's a comment over on our Instagrams, if it's a tweet, send it in a letter. Do whatever you can to send our emoji, and then one will be coming today. I haven't decided on it yet.
Anyway, last week's was the calendar, and I said, if you think that's geeky, I know the reason why it's the 17th of July that is the calendar.
Is that the launch date of like Apple?
No, well close. So that is now recognised as International Emoji Day, only because of the calendar.
Good.
So other sort of platforms had their own calendar emoji or icon or logo and have all now adopted 17th of July. And the original reason for 17th of July is, I think in 2001...
Oh, God, I'm bored.
Apple, well, you asked, you brought it up.
I know.
Apple launched iCal for the Mac on the 17th of July. And so the
that's
calendar
launch
on
app.
the calendar emoji has always just been 17th of July. You're welcome. You asked.
And I just started chuckling because I've read a question on my list and I hadn't read it before. I just pasted it in and I find that I think it's quite funny. So I'm going to show. How many questions do you have today?
I've got 3 more.
Oh, I've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 7 more.
Wow. Go for it then, love.
This is the one we got live as we were starting the pod from Corey on Instagrams. What is the cheapest palatable wine you've managed to find on Ibiza? Is that €1
It's been the one.
71?
Yeah, we've had. Do you know what? I almost bought it for this week because it's €1.79.
Can you remember the name?
No.
Is it the one with the windmill on it?
I can't remember what.
Yeah,
it's
Los Molinos or something.
Yeah, it's definitely the second word starts with an M.
Yeah, it's Los Molinos. It's got a.
But it's
windmill.
honestly, it's perfectly good wine.
Lovely.
When we host barbecues here, and we've had a few people around, we tend to sort of buy 6 or 7 or 8.
6 or 12.
They come in boxes of 6 or 12 bottles, and it's sort of like you just have a few bottles out on the table and go help yourself.
Yeah, we've got a big old wine bucket. So, and also you never feel bad for people drinking your drink when it's only €1.70.
This is where our theory of
you get everyone drunk.
if you're going to someone's barbecue.
Oh, here we go.
So I came up with this one. If you're going to someone's barbecue, it's courteous to take something. Some people would usually turn up with a pack of burgers or a pack of chicken and a bottle of something, right? And if we were at a barbecue in the UAE, for example, I would take, say, a bottle of something and sort of that would be...
Yes.
When a bottle of wine in this country costs €1.79,
Yeah.
I don't think it's acceptable to turn up to a barbecue with only one bottle.
Why didn't you take more expensive bottles then?
Because there's no need. Because
They might keep that one and serve you their shit.
When George was last here and he was at that villa down the road,
We were emptying out our...
We took
fridge.
2 magnums of rosé and a
didn't want-
box of 6 bottles of rosé with
we were
us.
trying to get rid of them.
But that cost us in
Stop
total
being
like
alcoholics.
9 or 10 euros. And I think that is an acceptable thing to do.
Okay,
So anyway-
we're always going to take a case of wine to people's barbecues now to get everyone drunk.
But also, I've now put it out there that if you're coming to a barbecue at this house,
No, don't
turn
be
up
a
with
douche.
case.
We're literally having a barbecue in like 4 days.
And I expect everyone to turn up with a case.
Oh no, please don't. God's sake. I hope no one listens to this that's coming. Anyway, whatever.
Anyway, the cheapest palatable bottle of wine
Los Molinos.
is the cheapest bottle of wine that we found, €1.79, and it's perfectly fine.
What a win. I've got one from Reese in Abu Dhabi.
Oh, nice, okay.
Do you think you'll ever go back to working for a company, or would you settle for not working or a freelance life?
There are probably very few, right now, there are very few large companies that I think I would work for.
Name them.
Brewdog.
Obviously.
Rafa.
Obviously. Cycling brand for those who don't
Cycling
know.
brand. That's probably it.
Yeah, they're not like big.
They're not big.
I immediately thought like Disney, but then like that last two, no.
There are some amazingly, just like awesome big companies.
Amazingly awesome.
Well, there are like
You're cute.
Disney, for example.
But you
Apple,
don't want
for
to work
example.
for them.
No,
You are a number.
I've done that. I've worked for a big company.
Is it called a conglomerate? What's a conglomerate?
A conglomerate is a company that sort of owns other companies.
Like an umbrella company.
Or, yeah, and they like
Coca-Cola.
Coca-Cola, yeah. Working for Coca-Cola, you can
Every
say
day's a school day.
you could say I work for Coca-Cola, but it actually turns out that you work for
Fanta Lemon.
Fanta Lemon's marketing department in
Spain.
In Spain. But
they do well then, don't they?
Yeah. Fanta lemon in Spain, absolutely, as part of the currency out here.
Yeah.
But yes, technically your employer is Coca-Cola. There are no big, massive companies that I feel any inspiration to go and work for.
I think we're both the same with that, but I also think like
it's not a bad
thing. Little like niche company comes. I wouldn't say no to I work for a company right now, but I wouldn't say no to working for a company if it was something that I loved.
Yeah.
And it was worth it.
I think
because right now it is worth it.
Exactly the journey that I've been on. I worked for 12 years for, honestly, a company that I have nothing but admiration for. I think they're awesome. I think what Apple does, not only commercially, but from the inside of what I saw that it does for people and what its morals are and what it believes in. I think Apple is an incredible company and I'll always be a big fan of them. But I did 12 years of working for that size of company and I just don't feel the need to anymore. I would much rather be, I think as you just sort of said, rather than just being a small cog in a big machine, I'd love the idea of taking what I learned from that and be maybe a medium-sized cog or a large cog in a small machine. And so I'd love the idea of working with, say, startups or small companies, small brands that are...
And you've got the knowledge to do that.
Yeah, I can sort of bring that. And that's...
Do you think, quick question that I would probably ask you, not even on a podcast, like moving to Dubai with Apple showed you more of the human side of Apple and how they look after their people? Because I know stories that you've told about people that have been employed by Apple from the local region or, people there. Because you have a lot of, like, really cute stories about people being able to, go home and see their families and things like that.
It's probably no surprise to anybody, but Apple retail, which was the area that I worked, Apple retail pays well for retail and also has incredible benefits and sort of things for its employees, but also the way that on a human level it looks after people and goes, you're expecting a child, please go and take the time off. But no, like it's little things. I remember when we opened in Abu Dhabi, not little.
I was joking.
Yeah, funny. But when we had somebody who we just employed. In his probation period, just started at the company, really excited to have got a job at Apple, and sort of sheepishly came and told me, and almost apologetically, my wife's pregnant, and I'm almost saying sorry to me, but I need to look after her and stuff. And I was like, okay, well, let's talk about your paternity leave. Let's talk about when do you need the time off? When is she expected? Where do you need to leave the country? Do you need to go somewhere to look after? And he was like, what? I've only just joined. I'm like, you're in. And once you're in,
the benefits are immediate.
Benefits are immediate.
A lot of companies, which I find crazy.
I find it criminal.
After a year, then you get benefits for paternity and maternity.
I think this is a big thing that I've learned that I would love to sort of influence smaller companies with. When you're hiring someone,
I've got an idea. That's why I'm laughing. Okay. And I'll tell you.
When you hire someone, put all of the effort into that. Take time with that, right? Meet lots of people when you're hiring someone. Have a certain criteria. But the minute you go, you're good enough and you're the person I want in and you're right for this company,
treat them 100%.
You treat them as if they've been there for 100 years and that they know everything. That's what I think that you should do when you hire people. Take longer to get them in the process into your company. And then once they're there, treat them...
They're 100% in your company.
Absolutely. Yeah. Because then you've got the right person, you've got the right skill set, and you have immediately got their buy-in that they are safe and they can do great work. The problem is a lot of people rush and go, I want someone based on what I read on a CV. I get them in really quickly. And I don't want to give them benefits. They haven't proven themselves to me yet. They're going to cost me money.
They prove it during the interview process, you know? Yeah, and you have the whole, what do you call it? Core. You have core, Apple have core, and then you have a probation period and everything, where you're so open, and it's probably the most open probation period I've ever heard of, because it's two-way probation.
We almost really didn't count the probation. It was sort of it has to be there for a legal and for logistical reason, and it kind of protects you and the employee as well.
Yeah, of course.
But I always said to my team, it's a two-way thing. Probation is as much you testing us as a company as it is us not even testing you, but sort of seeing how you're getting on. Because if in this period of time working for this company doesn't work for you personally, no hard feelings.
Leave, yeah.
You can just sort of go, it's not working for me, and off I go. And I don't think enough places sort of promote that. And that's one thing that I probably learned from working for a company like Apple.
So in answer to your question, Reese, he's probably not going to work for a big company again.
No, thank you.
Sorry. Why I was laughing in that is that we could call this podcast Maternity Leave Something and Wine, and people will be like, what?
Fucking hell, yeah.
And that's
Maternity
why I was
Leave Something and Wine.
So we could have now the pregnant person emoji.
Oh, is that what we want? Is there a...
Yeah, there's a pregnant woman. Check.
I didn't even know.
Yeah, it's one of the new ones,
I don't need to check.
Pregnant woman emoji. If not, send us a baby, because I'm pretty sure.
Is there definite?
Yeah. And there's definitely a pregnant woman emoji, because it's one of those new ones that came out.
Oh, yes, there is. Yeah, there she is, holding her belly like she needs a big fart.
No, she's pregnant.
Do you know what I always love though is you
send
find
us a pregnant woman.
You find them every now and again on Instagram where someone's just sort of like holding they're not even pregnant, they're just like, just had a fucking massive meal, right? But everyone's like, oh my god, you're pregnant, because it's the standard.
Well, we did clickbait.
We did when we moved
in Abu Dhabi.
Yeah. And I was holding your belly,
and
it was like, we've got loads of big news, and it was that we were moving.
Taking the photo. I was embarrassed taking that photo.
I think at this point, anybody who knows us knows that's never going
to
be
happen.
big news.
No.
Anyway, that was a really long. I'm so sorry.
That was a great answer, though. Thanks, Reese, for that one. Thank you for always being involved and always tagging us in your story as well every time that you watch. I love it. I've got a weird one from Frank on Instagram. If I was to kidnap Matt to do my garden, would you rather sleep on the sofa or a hard mattress? Because apparently you're good at gardening.
I'm terrible at gardening.
You are.
Really
bad.
No, your
tomato watch is going very well. Let's not talk about it.
I moved the tomatoes from a small pot to a big pot.
Oh, you need to show me that. Oh.
Yeah, but I also think that in the process I may have killed the tomatoes.
All of them?
Time will tell. So, Frank, if you want me to turn up and kill all of your tomatoes, not a problem. I'll take the hard mattress.
Rather than the sofa?
Yeah. I'm quite tall. And you can't always guarantee that a sofa you can basically fit on.
That is true.
But a hard mattress, so to me a hard mattress is better than a small sofa.
Interesting.
I had a question from Frank as well.
Oh yeah, go on.
Is this the same Frank? The Frank
Instagram
who loves us saying bye?
Yes, I think so.
Yes. And
I got it on Instagram.
In yesterday's vlog, he got 2 buys and he was very pleased.
Oh yeah, I saw that comment today.
So he has written a question for you both. I know that I'm early, but are you planning Vlogmas 2020? It's
probably because Frank's seen Vlogmases from years gone by, and we have done 3 Vlogmases in the past. For those that don't know, Vlogmas means that you vlog every day from December 1st to 25th or 24th. And we have done them in the past, and I think it could be interesting here because we have a little tradition at Christmas.
And it's your turn.
No fucking way! Is it my turn?
Frank, I love that you've brought this up.
Is it my turn?
Yeah, it is your turn.
Oh,
Do you remember we discussed this, that we said...
Were you not sick for like 2 years?
I'm always sick in December. I won't be here though.
Oh, nightmare. Okay, so our tradition is we have a hang-up advent calendar with pockets for each day, and we have done it now for, this will be year 4.
4 years?
Or 5. Yeah. Did we not do
it
every year?
I think we might have done
this might be year 5 or 6. 5 then. I started it, and I don't know if I regret it or not. A little thing each day for like Matt to open, and I put a little card in there, and it's either just an activity to do or something Christmassy or to be festive, because obviously when we lived in Dubai, not so cold festive or Christmassy.
In Dubai, you had to work hard to feel Christmassy.
But that might be the same here.
I don't know if it will be the same here. What I hear is Santa Ilaria, the town that we've chosen to live in, puts a lot of effort into its Christmas lights.
Which is great. I'm going to find out everything. So we alternate. And every time that it's been my turn, actually no, just every year, Matt's fallen ill for a full week, like possibly 2, like week to 10 days of sickness.
I'm always sick in December.
Always sick. So it ruins some of the biggest and best days of the Advent calendar. And so it's been sometimes it's been like, oh my God, I planned something amazing for today, and it only can be done today. So lots has been missed. Oh, I can't believe it's my year.
It is your year.
It's going to be amazing. I'm excited. Christmas barbecue.
It's going to be a lot of barbecues, I feel.
Santa hats on the beach.
But Vlogmas is what got us into vlogging in the first place. Our first ever vlog.
Oh God,
if you go onto our YouTube and you find our oldest vlog, it's December 2nd or December 3rd.
Well, then we fucked it up from the beginning.
Well, no, because we didn't know what it was. But my sister started doing it. My sister put up like December 1st, Vlogmas Day 1. And I think we were like, what is this? What is this? Like, we hadn't heard of it. And she was like, oh, it's so you can sort of keep up with what we're doing for Christmas. And we said, well, maybe we should do the same because we're now living in another country, a different part of the world. Maybe we'll do it to show what our Christmas looks like.
And it's
that's
not
what
that far away. We're only 2 months away from the start of Vlogmas.
I know, where's 2020?
But what's exciting is, and what's quite funny is that we watch your sisters, or I watch your sisters, or whatever, and then she watches ours, and we steal ideas for each other for later in the month.
Yeah.
We're like, oh, that looks good. And I'm like, giving Matt a crossword or something to paint.
Well, last year we did a crossword.
Oh, yeah.
And I did the same crossword as my then 8-year-old nephew.
Well, you did it first, and then I sent it to your sister, right?
But he finished said crossword faster than I did.
Way faster. Was it like a word search?
It was a word search,
yeah.
But I think I did it at a time when I was very sick, because I'm always sick in December.
Yeah, I think that's an excuse. But yeah, Vlogmas, I do want to do Vlogmas, and I think it'll be lots of fun.
We will. In fact, that's probably after we've finished doing daily vlogs.
Well, I bloody hope so.
That's the next time we'll get into doing dailies again. So if you're not already, December, we'll be back. We haven't even gone yet. But we'll be back in December
dailies.
On the Vlogmas. So, Frank, yes, we will be on the Vlogmas 2020.
Nicely done. Quick one for you.
Go
Tiffany, this is from my sister, Jade. Tiffany has already said that she wants to hippify her wardrobe. I like the way she spelled hippify also. Are you going to do the same? Are you getting... Well, you did buy that from the hippie market. The one you're wearing now.
Jade, the T-shirt I'm wearing at this very moment, I bought from a hippie market.
You did indeed.
Yeah, kind of. I kind of like
the
shirt. I do love the sort of slightly too big, baggy kind of shirt that's kind of funky colours and patterns and shit. One of my most favourite things about Ibiza is you can wear what you want and no one judges.
Yeah,
I kind of love that from the first time I came on holiday
I'm gonna
here.
put out my silver shoes next week.
And now that we live here, absolutely, you can just, yeah, there is zero judgment of whatever you choose to wear.
Love it.
And we've said before, well, you've particularly said, when the hippie markets are back open again next year, I think it will be a complete wardrobe overhaul of just comfy, big, light, airy kind of clothes. And
I love
that works here.
I love what Claire wears at the house. Like she basically wears like big old like, what are they? They're like big old poncho-y type things, but they're like shorter at the front, longer. They're super comfy. They're like the most oversized t-shirt you'll ever see, basically.
Yeah, basically.
I love them.
What it looks like Claire wears is men's extra large t-shirts, shape, but they're always, quite fashionable and quite stylish and quite cool, and just looks really comfy.
Super
so
comfy.
Yes, Jade, I probably will.
Yeah.
Thanks for the question, Jade. Be more Jade. Why has Naomi never sent a question through?
She doesn't watch it anymore, I don't think. I'm going to call her tomorrow and be like, why didn't you watch it?
It's okay. My sister doesn't send any questions anymore either.
Questions? Oh, are we doing kids again? Questions from the kids?
Well, we're not doing that next week.
Oh, yeah. Ask George a question because everyone knows who he is. Oh, my God, yes.
Okay.
We're going to get that happening.
This week, be prepared for stuff on our socials that is all about questions for George for next week's podcast.
And Lauren.
George.
Do you know my question to Lauren? How do you put up with George?
Yeah. My question is, why?
Oh, dear.
I've got a question, and this is quite deep.
Oh.
If you could change one thing tomorrow, what would it be?
That all the good foods don't have calories.
Wow. Yeah.
Because
Nice.
I feel like it could take longer to change other things. So, I'm just going to change something that I want to change this second.
So if you're
I would
thinking
do world peace later on. But if there's one thing tomorrow...
If one thing tomorrow... Because that means that we could eat all of the cakes and biscuits
Well, I
that's
was
still in our
literally
fridge.
thinking chocolate and cakes and biscuits and ice cream. Who was that from?
So this is from somebody on Instagram called That Agile. They've sent me a few messages. They don't have a name. They've never posted on Instagram, but they have sent me a few messages on
That
Instagram.
Agile.
And they're called That Agile. So I don't know what their name is.
Maybe
but
it's a cat.
It's a cat. You're saying a cat has an Instagram account?
Because cats are agile, aren't they?
Yeah.
Yeah.
But they don't have Instagram accounts.
They might.
So That Agile, thank you for your question. We'd love to know a little bit more about who you are, if that's okay. But good question. Tiflar would like to remove calories from good food.
But not change the taste.
Well, no, of course.
I've got 3 questions left and they're all from the same person.
Is it John McGovern again?
No, actually. This is from Delmar Sunset on the forum, on the Ibiza forum. First one, which you might find quite difficult. Your top 3 dance tracks of all time.
Insomnia.
Oh, yeah. Good one. So I've got Sunshine.
Good one.
I'm also going to go for Tiesto.
Oh, I was going to go Tiesto.
Oh, hold on. That is Sunshine, but just his one. And then I'm going to go for a third remix of Sunshine.
Yours are 3 remixes of the same song.
But I actually like the original Sun. No, it's not Sunshine, is it? Oh,
Tiesto hasn't done Sunshine.
Tiesto. The Tiesto song I love. Oh, why is that so annoying?
Anyway, I'm going with
Insomnia's a good
Insomnia, Faithless, without a doubt.
Adagio for strings.
Adagio for strings was going to be
You
mine.
can't take that.
Well, I am. Why don't we just pick 3 between us then?
Okay, done then.
You can have the third option.
So Sunshine.
Okay, cool. That's a strong trio.
I want to play those immediately after this podcast.
So Insomnia, Adagio
Okay,
for strings, Sunshine.
Yeah. I hope they're all classed as dance
There were
tracks.
talks before of us creating an M&T playlist on Spotify.
We should do
Maybe
that.
that's the
Calvin
first
did
3
say.
songs.
Yeah, maybe we should do that.
There you go.
That's a good one.
Next question.
If you could both sit down for dinner anywhere and be given your favourite meals, what would your starters, main courses and desserts be? This is a podcast I listened to already because I listened to Off Menu.
Sure. I don't think we can. Can we save
I'm going
that?
to start with... Oh,
I feel as if
I was ready to just go.
Do you know why? The only reason being, we're approaching the hour mark already.
I know.
We like to keep the podcast
I like
sort
to
of
talk
close
about
to the hour mark.
food.
And I think that's a brilliant question, but I just feel as if we need to save it so that we can talk about it at length.
And then
'cause
also we
otherwise-
can think about it and ask the other 2 for next week.
Yeah, okay. Answer that one
Delmar
next week.
Sunset, we are going to save that for next week and it's going to be the main talking point. And
Yes,
I'm so excited.
we'll talk a lot of
I'm already
food.
thinking about my meal.
I'm thinking about mashed potato as well.
That's a good one. One
was
more
there a
from
third
him.
question? Yeah.
And
go
this
for
is the one I chuckled at earlier because I only just read it. If you could both pick one professional sporting achievement to accomplish, what would it be? Because I was just thinking of stupid things like fencing, but I reckon you'd want to win the... can I choose yours?
it. Yeah, I know what you're going to
You're gonna
say.
win
And
the
I was
Tour.
Tour de France.
Thank you.
Do you know what? Right now, I'd be so proud if I completed one stage of the Tour
There
de
are some
France.
really short ones, aren't there?
Yeah, they
The short
sometimes-
ones are sometimes quite hilly. Can you do a time trial?
Yeah, the time trials are like 30 kilometres.
You could do that. It won't be very fast.
So it won't be the quickest.
What would mine be?
Probably some like weightlifting.
That would be good, wouldn't it? I'm not strong enough for that at all. How's the camera? I hope...
Camera's fine. No,
Okay.
we're going strong.
I
and I know that sounds weird, but when you properly get into your gym
I
stuff,
get
you
really-
love lifting. You just
PBs.
love being able to pick up heavy shit and put it back down again.
I can't wait to have a bar.
Although it's a sporting achievement, I'm not going to say that you wish that you were a gold medalist at weightlifting but you do just love to be able to just pick stuff up and put it back down again.
That is true. That or something ridiculous.
Like?
I don't know. What's the funny sport? Like, I don't know. Do you know when they do like rhythmic gymnastics? Can you imagine me on the ribbons?
So would you do the rhythmic gymnastics? Would you do the ribbons, the ball, or the hoop?
Ribbon.
Why?
Because it's more flouncy.
It's so twiddly, isn't it?
It's flouncy. I know someone who was in the 2012 Olympics doing the ball thing.
Personally, you know somebody?
Personally, from Pirates in Magaluf.
Why is that person not a guest on the podcast?
Because I don't know her anymore.
Oh, okay. Maybe they're a listener and an old
Probably not,
relationship can come back.
Katie will be like, Katie will remember. People will remember. Magaluf crew. Actually, do any of them listen? I don't know. The only one I've got is the food question now, and that's going to be a big part of next week, and I'm more than excited. I'm going to map it out.
Oh God, you're going to get really organised.
I'm going to ask George and Lauren about it.
Can I ask you my last question?
Yeah, of course.
This one came from Nisha. She asked a question a couple of weeks ago. Somebody who I used to work with.
I've got a school friend called
and
Nisha.
I love that Nisha's sort of got back in contact with me. It's a wonderful thing about doing this content is I've had people that I haven't spoken to for ages who've gone, I've kind of stumbled across your stuff and now we're talking again.
That's really interesting because mine's the opposite way round because I now
You're making new friends.
Well, no, I just don't. Yeah, all my old friends have buggered off.
Yeah, they don't listen. Well, it doesn't matter then. Fuck them, because they don't listen. Anyway, Nisha has got in touch and said, Tiff obviously loves her job. I'm also a writer.
That's nice.
Yeah. I think it's really good that people see that you're enjoying what you do, because that's why we came here.
Jay did say that I was getting excited on a WhatsApp call the other day.
It is good. And I love that you're doing what you want to do, which is good. So, Tiff obviously loves her job. I'm also a writer. How does she keep in the zone when working from home?
Do you know what? It's been so much better since we've had an office.
Yes.
Because we were working literally at the dining table in the main living area. And then as soon as we got the desk and the chairs, as soon as I'm in there, I don't really even I don't overly scroll socials either. My breaks have gone like way down. And I feel like when I'm in there, and this is what you wanted from the very beginning, when I'm in there, I'm working. When I come out and have lunch...
Yeah, you don't work.
Today I even left my phone in there.
Yeah.
And I just sat here, had lunch, watched a bit of shit on Netflix.
Yeah.
And there's very much a divide. And like today I shouted through, I was like, I'm going to finish at 6. Let's do the podcast at 6.
Yeah.
And that was my time because I could kind of see an ending. Staying in the zone, my biggest advice is to put your phone on Do Not Disturb and not have your WhatsApp and Messenger on your computer.
Yeah.
Because every time your phone buzzes or every time your WhatsApp lights up, I get distracted and you then get into a conversation with someone that's not necessarily work. If you really want to get in the zone, turn all of your notifications off. My laptop is always on Do Not Disturb. Always.
Yeah.
I never have it on. And because it turns off every day.
Yeah.
And every day.
So you have to put it back on.
When I get the first notification, I'm like, nah, fuck off. Yeah. I'm like, turn that off. But like my biggest thing is just turn that off. Have no notifications. Don't let your phone buzz. Really just sit there and go in.
I just say something? It's so easy, I think, to say that. Turn your notifications off, because anybody would say in order to concentrate and get in the zone and do your work, whether you work at home or don't work at home, is to do that. I honestly think one of the biggest things you said there, though, is we invested in an office.
Have space to work. And this is what I was getting to.
And what I love is that you've always also been really strict of, don't bring me lunch in there. Don't bring food in there. Yeah. Like, really separate those rooms. So don't bring personal life into that room and don't bring work life out of that room. Because if you go to work, if you go to an office, if you go to a store, a warehouse, a factory, whatever it is that you go and do every day, it's very obvious that they're separate from your
Your
family,
home.
your friends,
Yeah.
your life, and the things that you do in your own time. But when you work from home, it's really weird because we're going through this and we've said it before. One of the big benefits that people think is, oh, well, I can be lying on the sofa in my PJs watching TV and I'm doing my work. You're
No,
not.
I don't get work done.
But because if you do it that way, you're not doing your personal life well and you're not doing your professional life well. You do need to separate these things.
Yeah. When we were in Dubai, we had I now realise that I had a really bad balance of work. Because of that thing. I wanted to sit on the sofa and work and put bloody Drag Race on and try, but I want to watch Drag Race. Like I want to watch the TV and I don't want to work on the laptop. And what I was getting to there, office is great, but also our Thursdays out when we work from a different place, I feel so productive and I don't even know why.
We've kind of accidentally stumbled across
a little like golden few hours.
Yeah, so if there is anybody who is working from home, obviously a lot of people are, and it's not easy in the world right now, depending on where you're listening, to go, oh, I'm just going to go work somewhere else. But we try... Well, we do every Thursday. We've just picked a day to go. On Thursdays, we go out and we do the same work that we would usually do, but we do it from somewhere else.
UK, love.
Yep.
There is a new initiative which my friend Bill shared on his Instagram today for people in the UK, like work from bars. And it's an initiative. Obviously, he works for Bacardi, so he supplies bars with everything that Bacardi owns. Another one of those conglomerates.
Great companies to work for.
So people are now saying work from bars, and Brewdog have done this for a while, where you can have a membership to one of their bars, where you get space, Wi-Fi all day, and a pint at the end of your day, and things like that. But I actually find working, because you almost justify it in your head. It's like, right, I'm paying for these drinks, this food, this lunch, these beers when it gets later in the afternoon. But I need to justify that by being really good at what I'm doing right now. And actually, in those hours, I feel really productive. And we always leave those places and go, actually, I feel really, really good. Done. So it's actually a really big point now, and it's something I could talk about for ages, I think, is like people working from home during coronavirus and everything like that, because it's not gone away, and everyone is still in the same boat that they were in April, and that's mad. But finding those places you can work from, and even having an area in your house, like this is my office, but when I step out I get a break.
Yeah, this is the thing. I mean, I appreciate it's not easy for everyone. When we were living, the last place we were living in Dubai was a hotel room. But even if it was just that you pick your dining table, if you make that your workplace, don't eat your food there anymore. Don't have that as a place that you sit and scroll on your phone anymore. Literally, I think it's important that you pick the question was, how do you stay in the zone? Pick a zone.
Sorry, we went...
Literally,
pick
zone
a
it
zone.
off.
Yeah, that is your zone.
Find a physical space, whether you're in a studio apartment or whether you're in a big house, whether you can still go to the office, whatever it is, pick a zone that is where you work.
Yeah.
And don't bring your personal life into that. And by that, I mean, don't scroll and don't watch TV.
Don't do your life. That's not your life admin
don't do life
place.
admin there. But then also don't take the work to the sofa. Don't do
bed.
Yeah.
Or to whatever. Like I came, like a few days when we were there, I was working in bed and stuff for a few hours. And then firstly, you don't get everything done that you want to do, because you're like, oh, actually, am I even comfy here? And then you like get drowsy again. But now I do feel, maybe it's because I'm a bit clearer in life, but I do feel that office, and as soon as I do step out, and sometimes I leave my phone in there, it's just, right, cut off.
Yep. And I think that's great.
Yeah.
And it became a priority for us when we were looking for somewhere to live.
Yeah.
When we were going, okay, like how many rooms are we going to need?
And do you know what? I wasn't expecting that my work would be as it is right now.
Yeah.
And I was just like, oh yeah, we just need somewhere to work. I could work from the dining table forever.
Well, that's
but now I'm like, I don't ever, like, I would hate to sit there and work from the dining table, because it's like I've got a real fucking job.
Yeah.
Like, it feels real.
You're the breadwinner.
That's funny, isn't it?
It is.
We have switched roles, and that is a whole different chat.
Yeah, that's another podcast. How does it feel to switch roles? Because for 5 years, that was me.
But I also made money.
Yeah.
I made some money.
I'm going to say you were making fun coupons.
Yeah, I did make. I paid for holidays.
Yeah.
That was always my thing.
Yeah. You're now.
Fun coupon.
Yeah.
I now make the money and the fun coupons.
Yeah.
That's true.
I spend the fun coupons
You do.
on Wolves merchandise.
Oh, jeez. I think that's a good close.
That's a great close. Great questions this week, guys. Thank you.
Great
We say it every week, but thank you so much for sending them through. Not only because they give us something to talk about, but they often sort of take us down a path where we talk about
I
shit
sometimes get worried midweek that we're not going to have a question, and then I get like 12 through on day, like on the last...
I said it last week. Don't wait. Don't wait until Friday or Saturday to send us the question. If you're listening to this Monday, Tuesday, or whenever, and you're thinking, I've got a question, or I've got a topic that these guys should talk about, send it through. We'll add it in. We try to get through absolutely everything that people send us. So, I'm
just thinking of my menu for next week.
I'm excited for next week's podcast.
Can I make the menu for next week?
So next week will be George and Lauren. We're going to talk about our favourite meal of all time. I think we're stealing that from a podcast that already exists.
Yeah, we'll talk about that also.
But that'll be fun. It's going to be a good week.
Amazing. Thank you so much for your questions. Remember to like, rate, review, share, win a bottle of Whispering Angel, and we'll see you in next week's pod. Thanks for joining us.
What a mature podcast we've done this week.
Do you think it's mature? I thought oh god. Okay then. Anyway,
bye. All right, bye. Love you, bye.